What's going on YouTube? Thomas L here. It's Thursday. That means it's time to talk about the new movies opening this week. The first one I'm going to talk about is the new film First Man, which stars Ryan Gosling as famed astronaut Neil Armstrong, who of course was the first man to ever walk on the moon. This film is directed by Damien Chazelle, who directed Whiplash and the could have been Oscar-winning film La La Land. I gotta say, this movie actually looks cool. I think the effects looks interesting. I'm a big fan of Ryan Gosling. I recently did my top 10 favorite Ryan Gosling movies. You could probably search it up on my page, but yeah, I'm really intrigued by this. You also got Claire Foy in here, who I should say I'm a big fan because I haven't really seen much episodes of The Crown or anything. But I thought she was fantastic in this little horror movie I saw earlier this year called Unsane. Since then, I want to see her in more films. I cannot wait to see her in that girl in the Spires Web film. Cannot wait to see her in this. She's seriously someone should keep your eye out for. Alright, the next film I'm going to talk about is the new thriller film Bad Times at the El Royale, which has a really impressive cast. The cast of this includes Jeff Bridges, Chris Hemsworth, Cynthia Erivo, Kelly Spene, Dakota Johnson, John Hamm. Really solid cast. Here's what the film is about. It's about 7 strangers, each with a secret to bury, meet at Lake Tahoe's El Royale, a rundown hotel with a dark past. What is it up with Hollywood and movies set in hotels? First Hotel Artemis and now this. Anyway, but the hotel has like a dark past, and over the course of one fateful night, everyone will have a last shot at redemption before everything goes to hell. One thing that gets me excited for this movie is Drew Goddard. He directed probably one of my favorite horror movies in recent years, Cabin in the Woods, and he retains with Chris Hemsworth. Now, it's crazy to believe that he has not done a movie since Cabin in the Woods, and that was like in 2012. I remember he was like rumored for Ant-Man and other stuff, but he has never actually directed anything since. I mean, he wrote like recent stuff like The Martian. I think he was a writer on Ant-Man, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm glad to see him back in the spotlight. He's seriously a good director, and he needs to be doing more stuff. I think he's tremendous. All right, next film coming out is Goosebumps 2: Haunted Halloween. Now, I dig the first Goosebumps movie. I'm not a book reader, so I never really read the Goosebumps books. I have seen the original TV shows and all. I really dug that Goosebumps movie with Jack Black. Now, I gotta say, Goosebumps 2 looks intriguing. Like, the trailers haven't blew my socks off or anything. It looks like it could be pretty decent. Jack Black is actually technically in this. He's voicing Slappy, which I'm actually glad for because I thought Slappy in the first film was such a scene stealer. But yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to check out Goosebumps 2. Maybe if it does well, we'll see another one. Alright, another film out this week is a film called Beautiful Boy, which stars probably one of my favorite actors right now, Steve Carell, and as well as Timothée Chalamet, who recently scored an Oscar nomination for Call Me by Your Name. He could easily get a nomination for this. I haven't seen the movie yet, so I can't really say have anything backed up if he's actually really good in this movie. But just from the trailer alone, I'm sure he's going to get an Oscar nomination. Here's what it's about. Based on the best-selling pair of memoirs from father and son David and Nick Sheff, Beautiful Boy chronicles the heartbreaking and inspiring experience of survivor, relapse, and recovering in a family coping with addiction over many years. Besides Steve Carell and Timothy Chalamet, you also got an Office reunion with Amy Ryan and Steve Carell. Yeah, a few other people. Mara Turney, who's actually kind of an underrated actress. I first remember her in the Jim Carrey movie Liar Liar. She does stuff here and there, but of course, you always see her in the spotlight. Now, Beautiful Boy is being released by Amazon, which I think is a tremendous company. This might sound like an unpopular opinion, but I think Amazon does better with movies than TV shows. I've seen some of the shows that Amazon done. They're okay, like Marvelous Miss Maisel's alright, but I think they're the best when it comes to TV to movies. Because almost all, like in the past recent years, half of their movies ended up in my top 10 of the year. Manchester by the Sea ended up in my top 10. Last year's The Big Sick ended up in my top 10. Both of them are from Amazon. So, way to go, Amazon. Alright, another film coming out this week is a film called The Happy Prince, which stars and is directed by this actor named Rupert Everett, who I've seen, stuff. He was in My Best Friend's Wedding with Julia Roberts. He was also in that Emily Blunt film, The Young Victoria. And Rupert Everett actually stars and directs this film, and it's about the last days of Oscar Wilde, who was a famed poet. And it also is about the ghosts that haunts him. Now, Rupert Everett actually plays the role of Oscar Wilde. I haven't seen. I saw the trailer and it looks intriguing. So I'll probably give it a go. Probably on TV whenever it's on. But yeah, it could be something pretty interesting. Besides Rupert Everett, we also got Tom Wilkinson. Always nice to see Colin Firth on screen. Emily Watson, not to be confused with Emma Watson. But Emily Watson is seriously an underrated actress. I've seen her pop up in stuff like Kingsman 2 and a few other stuff here and there. She never gets the credit she deserves. I think she's a pretty tremendous actress. Also out this week is a film called Gosnell, The Trial of America's Biggest Serial Killer. That is seriously the weirdest name ever. The film actually stars Superman himself, Dean Cain. Dean Cain played Superman on TV one time. Here's what this true story is about. The film is the shocking true story of the investigation and trial of Dr. Kermit Gosnell and his 30-year killing spree and political and media establishment that tried to cover it up. Pretty much, this doctor was a sicko. I mean, a real sicko. I don't know much about the story. That's kind of why I'm reading the synopsis. But I'm kind of really intrigued. I'm a real sucker for true story tales, and I think this is something that could be interesting. But it's always cool to see Dean Cain on screen. I think he doesn't do a whole lot nowadays. I've seen him pop up in Lifetime movies, sometimes Hallmark stuff. He rarely does anything now. It's cool. Always cool to see him on screen. Another film out this week is a film called After Everything, which stars Jeremy Allen White, aka Lip from Shameless, and also stars Maika Monroe, who I think is a tremendous actress. Jeremy Allen White plays a character named Elliot, a brash 23-year-old living carefree in New York City, and he meets Mia, who receives a damning diagnosis all in the same week. His world is turning completely upside down, but as their love blossoms, the chaos of his treatment, they discover that Elliot's illness is not the real last of their relationship; it's everything else. This is directed by this 22-year-old actress named Hannah Marks, who's been in stuff like The Real O'Neills, a few other stuff. She's actually a decent young actress. The cast here also includes Sasha Lane from American Honey, Gina Gershon's in this. This actually looks like it could be pretty touching. It has like a Fault in Our Stars and Big Sick feel to it. No, actually, it feels probably more like the Big Sick. If you guys haven't seen the Big Sick, what are you waiting for? Watch the Big Sick. But I really want to check this one out. Probably on TV or whatever. Jeremy Allen White, I'm becoming a fan of. I think he's really good at playing Lit on Shameless, and God knows how long Shameless is going to be on the air for. So it's cool to see him break out into the movie business because he's a tremendous actor. Also out this week is a film called The Oath, which stars and is directed by Ike Barinholtz, who was recently seen in Blockers. Love Blockers. The film also teams Ike Barinholtz with Tiffany Haddish, who I'm a big fan of. And it's about like a controversial White House policy turns family members against family members. So it's pretty much, you know how around the Thanksgiving table, there are always like political views, political discussions. They take this to a whole new level. They kind of kill each other. And I mean, it kind of feels like the Belko experiment, or yeah, probably more like the Belko experiment for political views, or I guess you could say more like the Purge in a way. Yeah, it actually feels more like the Purge than the Belko experiment. I'm really intrigued by this. I'm a fan of Ike Barinholtz. Ever since I saw him on Mad TV, I've always thought he was awesome. He was awesome in Neighbors, Blockers. Cannot wait to see him in this. And as for Tiffany Haddish, this is like an interesting year for her. Like last month, she was just in Night School. This week, she's in The Oath, and next month, she's in that new Tyler Perry film, Nobody's Fool. So interesting few months for her. I'm a big Tiffany Haddish fan. I think she's really funny. Also out this week is a film called Look Away. Which I saw the trailer for this. It actually feels like Carrie. Like, here's what Look Away is about. Look Away is a psychological thriller that tells the story of Maria, a high school student whose life is turned upside down when she switches places with her sinister mirror image. So, yeah, she pretty much has a sinister inside her that pretty much messes everything up. I mean, there's like a prom scene that looks totally like something out from Carrie. This literally has a Carrie feel to it. The film also has this actress named India Isley. It also has Maria Sorvino, Jason Isaacs. Cool cast. Yeah, I'm kind of intrigued by this. Maybe if I have enough time this week, I'll probably give it a go. Because it actually looks really intriguing. Also out this week is a film called I Still See You, which stars Bella Thorne, Dermot Mulroney. It's always nice to see Dermot Mulroney on screen. This film is also directed by Scott Speer, who recently directed Bella Thorne in that film Midnight Sun. In the film, Bella Thorne stars in this spellbinding and romantic supernatural thriller. Here's the actual synopsis. 10 years after an apocalypse event left the world haunted by ghosts, Ronnie, played by Thorne, receives a threatening message from beyond the grave. Joining forces with a mysterious classmate, Kirk, Ronnie descends into a shadow world that blurs the bounds of the living and the dead and begins a desperate race against time to stop a cunning killer. Wow. I saw the trailer for this, and to be honest, it looks awful. It's actually because I think Bella Thorne could be someone to look out for, but sometimes I don't know, sometimes her acting is a little stiff once in a while. She was pretty decent in Assassination Nation and in that Lifetime movie, Perfect High, but sometimes I dug her in Blended and a few other stuff. I'm hoping she gets there. Gets like a film role that piques her, speaks to her, and has her more grow as an actress. Because I think she could get there to be a pretty decent actress in the future. We'll see. but definitely a film like I Still See You won't help. All right, another film out this week is a film called R Square, which stars Micah Kelly from House of Cards fame. In the film, Micah Kelly plays a down on his luck, small town bookie who's having a hard time collecting and on outstanding debts after a one night stand with an ex girlfriend played by Better Things star Pamela Adlon. He strikes up an unlikely friendship with her 12-year-old son Brian, played by Jesse Ray Sheps, and develops a plan to recoup the money owed to him by taking bets on Brian's youth league baseball games. Wow, some guy. The film also has Josh Lucas. It's always good to see Josh Lucas on screen. Tom Everett Scott, who's a decent actor. Isaiah Whitlock Jr., another decent actor. This actually looks pretty interesting. I saw the trailer for this, and it could be something pretty cool. Micah Kelly's a pretty decent actor. Yeah, I think he's pretty good on in few stuff. He was really good in Chronicle, where he played the lead's dad in it. If you guys haven't seen Chronicle, what are you waiting for? Chronicle's awesome. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to checking All Square out. Alright. Also opening this week is a film called B&B. Which stars actor Tom Bateman. B&B is about two friends named Mark and Fred who went to war when they were refused a double bed at a remote Christian guest house. They won their court case and now they're back to claim the rights, and their triumph turns to terror when a Russian neo-Nazi checks in. Their weekend of fun becomes a bloody bath for survival in this smart, brutally funny, and dark thriller. Dang. Wow, I'm kind of intrigued about this now. So I can't really find any showings here in New York City, so I don't know where it's going to be playing at, but I'll probably give it a go, maybe online or something. Sounds like it could be a pretty cool synopsis. Only person I know in this movie is actor Tom Bateman because I've seen him pop up in stuff like Snatched and a few other stuff. All right, also open this week is a film called Bigger. Now, Bigger is actually a film about the guys who trained Arnold Schwarzenegger when he was like a major bodybuilder. Tyler Oakland from Supergirl fame stars in this. You also got Dunkirk, Anirudh Bonder, Julianne Hough, Colton Haynes. Or speaking of the CW universe, Colton Haynes is best known for playing Roy Harper on Arrow. So we got a few Arrowverse actors in this. Victoria Justice is in this. You also got DJ Qualls. He doesn't do a whole lot nowadays. Steve Guttenberg, Tom Arnold. Really decent cast. And there's an actor in this playing Arnold Schwarzenegger, so pretty much Arnold Schwarzenegger is playing a character in this film. I'm actually really interested in that. I think Tyler Oakland could be someone to look out for. He's really good on Supergirl. Except they don't really give him much to do on Supergirl. Hopefully, in that crossover event, they'll give Superman more to do. Also out this week is a little indie movie called Stella's Last Weekend, which stars Naked Brother and real life brothers Alex and Nat Wolff. And it's directed by their mother, Poppy Draper. Now, this is actually the first time the two actually worked together since Naked Brothers ended. It's pretty cool to see them do another project together. I think Alex and Nat Wolff are actually both really talented actors. Alex Wolff was fantastic in Hereditary. Matt Wolf has been pretty good in a few stuff I've seen, like Paper Towns, Fault in Our Stars, Palo Alto. They're both really talented actors, and I'm really curious to see them, acting together in this. Also, there's a film called Over the Limit, which looks like a documentary. Also out this week is a film called Kinky. Yeah, there's a movie out this week called Kinky. All right, I'm gonna read what the movie info is about, and yeah, here's what it's about. Kinky follows the story of Dr. Joyce Reynolds, played by Danny Kane's Dawn Richard. She's a successful yet shy Atlanta surgeon who enjoys a secluded and single lifestyle before being set on a date with billionaire Darren Bernard, played by Robert Richard, and the two take a immediate liking to one another. After several weeks of dating, Darren and Joyce's world open to sexual dating exploration, leading them to S&M sex and complication, alternative dominance, submissive aspects. Yeah, so this is kind of like a black version of 50 Shades of Grey. I mean, wow. To be honest, I can't this name look that good. It's not true because I really like this actor Robert Richard. He was in that movie Chocolate City, and the film Kinky is directed by the same guy who did Chocolate City, which was like a black version of Magic Mike. It's nice to see the girl from Danny Kane acting in something, and with Vista A. Fox. It's always a joy to see Vista A. Fox on screen, but yeah, I'll probably give this a go, but I'm not having high hopes for that one. Well, then, who knows? Maybe it'll be better than 50 Shades. that won't be too hard. Also out this week is a film called Better Start Running, which stars the likes of Alex Sharp, Annalyn Tipton, Maria Bello, Eddie Gaffegi, Karen Sony, best known for The Pinga and Deadpool. Jeremy Irons is in this. Jane Seymour. This looks like to be something pretty interesting. Like in Better Start Running is an unexpected series in the film. A unexpected series of events turns everyday store clerk Holly, played by Al Sharp, into a wanted man, and even more unexpectedly, he finds himself on the run with the girl of his dreams, played by Annalyn Tipton. FBI agent McFadden, played by Maria Bella, is determined to crush him and wants to teach her rookie partner how it's done. Her rookie partner is played by Karen's Sony, from Deadpool fame. This kind of looks like it could be pretty interesting. It's always a joy to see Maria Bella on screen. Annalyn Tipton's a pretty decent actress. You don't see Eddie Gaffegi a whole lot. He was actually pretty good in the Twilight series, but it's always cool to see some of the other cast members from Twilight, breaking out to more feature films. But yeah, I'm really interested in seeing Better Start Running. Also out this week is a film called The Sentence. I don't know much about that. There's also a film called Sadie, which stars Melanie Lynskey, newcomer Sophia Metri Skolas, a few other people. There's also a film called Bikini Moon out, a film called Jane and Emma, a few other stuff. Now, also, since if you're home and you don't really feel like to go to the movies, there's also a few stuff coming on Netflix this week. I mean, this week. Well, actually, technically, got released on Netflix like yesterday, but out on Netflix, I should say now, is a film called 22 July, which is directed by Captain Phillips, director Paul Greengrass. Now, here's the true story of this one. In 22 July, Academy Award nominee filmmaker Paul Greengrass tells the true story of the aftermath of Norway's deadliest terrorist attack on 22 July 2011. My bad. 77 people were killed when a far-right detonated a car bomb in Oslo before carrying out a mass shooting at the leadership camp for teens. 22 July uses the lens of one survivor's physical and emotional journey to portray the country's path to healing and reconciliation. This actually looks pretty intense. I don't really know much about the whole story and all, but I'm a sucker for true story events, so I'm kind of intrigued by that. Another film that's out on Netflix this week is a film called Aposta, which is directed by the Raid director Garth Evans. The film is set in London, 1905, and is about prodigal son Thomas Richardson, played by Dan Stevens, who returned home only to learn that his sister is being held for ransom by a religious cult. Determined to get her back at any cost, Thomas travels to the Adalik Island, where the cult lives under the leadership of the charismatic Prophet Malcolm, played by Michael Sheen. As Thomas infiltrates the island's community, he learns that the corruption of mainland society that they claim to reject has infested the cult's ranks nonetheless, and uncovers a secret far more evil than he could have imagined. Now, I saw the trailer for this, and man, it looks nuts. It looks like he's going to have some cool action in it. I really like Dan Stevens. I think he's a cool actor, and I actually really dug the Raid movies. So yeah, I think this is going to be something pretty interesting. So yeah, that and 22 July comes to Netflix this week. Also premiere on Netflix. What? There's a lot of stuff premiered this week on Netflix and Amazon. Anyway, also premiered this week is a film called The Kindergarten Teacher, which stars Maggie Gyllenhaal as a teacher who discovers that one of her students is a child prodigy. The film also includes Gael Garcia Bernal, a few other people. It's also a remake of I think a Danish or Spanish film that came out like a few years back. I think it was a Danish film, if I'm not mistaken. I think Maggie Gyllenhaal is a tremendous actress. She's amazing on The Deuce. If you guys aren't watching The Deuce, check out The Deuce. It's a really good show. Yeah, I'm really interested in checking The Kindergarten Teacher out. I think it looks interesting. Cool cast. It actually got some pretty good reviews when I premiered at Sundance, so that could be something interesting to keep your eye out for. But yeah, so 22 July, Aposta and Kindergarten Teacher are playing on Netflix tomorrow as well. So if you don't want to go to the movies or anything and you want to stay home and watch Netflix, those are some of the 3 options that's coming out this week. But yeah, that's pretty much all the movies that's coming out this week in theaters and on Netflix. Let me leave it to you guys. What movies would you like to see this week? Drop your comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Thomas L. signing off.